Hey yo, what's up everybody? Another day of quarantine, and another day of notes for class. What's better than that? All right, so yesterday we went over 5.1, which was all of the different torts, legal responsibilities. I took you through the differentiation between criminal law and civil law and give you a brief overview of all the torts. Remember, as you go through this chapter, you are looking at these things through a medical eye. You're not looking at them as far as like a simple assault or some sort of child abuse or anything like that. You're looking at it as far as in a healthcare setting. So keep that in mind. All right, so ethics is the second part of the chapter. The definition would be a set of principles that deals with what's morally right or wrong. So in the healthcare world, there's typically standards or codes of conduct or behavior that need to be followed, and making the correct ethical decision sometimes isn't the easiest thing to do. Sometimes a patient might request something that the doctor doesn't agree with, and those types of things will pull up various ethical dilemmas. There's lots of debates on lots of these topics, such as like right to die issues, physician-assisted suicide issues. So there's tons of different ethical dilemmas and stuff like that physicians, nurses, etc. would face. So being a great healthcare worker, you'd be able to analyze different types of information and make the right decisions. So here's all the different ethical dilemmas that you might encounter. Euthanasia is the term for physician-assisted suicide. So there's varieties of differences as far as states and things like that on whether or not it's legal or not legal for this to happen. If you have HBO, there is a made-for-HBO movie. It's called You Don't Know Jack, and that's about probably the most famous right-to-die physician, Dr. Jack Kevorkian. So if you had the time and you wanted to watch that movie, you can. It's very heavy. It's a depressing movie. It's not an uplifting or happy movie, obviously, from the topic. But he was a very interesting person, and the whole debate is interesting if you're into that sort of thing. So you can find that on HBO. And Al Pacino plays Jack Kevorkian. Al Pacino, the same guy that was Scarface. So it's kind of a cool movie. So diagnosing AIDS, so whether or not you have to disclose certain types of information to your employer or not. Abortion, life support, expensive treatments. Is none of these ethical dilemmas usually are pretty things. They're usually kind of like sad things, stuff like that. Decisions on transplants, legal issues with marijuana, animals, and using animals for research, genetic research, cloning, stem cells. So all of these things usually, cause some sort of issue. And knowing your legal obligations in those situations is very important. So in the basic rules of ethics that any healthcare professional must follow is that you would save lives, promote health, promote the comfort of all patients, respect the patient's right to die with peace and dignity, and treat patients as equal as possible given the circumstance, and provide the best care possible. Bullet point 3, right to die, there's going to be a variety of different laws that govern that. So usually you'll hear something called like a DNR. If a patient has a DNR, then you're not able to resuscitate them if they were wouldn't die or anything like that. So continuing on for basic rules of ethics, you're going to maintain competent skills and knowledge, respect rules, respect confidentiality, refrain from being immoral, unethical, show loyalty to all your patients and your coworkers, and be honest. All right, summarize this. You would make sure that you looked at the code of ethics. Typically, the building that you work for or the company that you work for would have some sort of ethical code. You have to abide by that code. You will say the Hippocratic Oath when you become a health professional, and that sets forth a lot of the rules for you. So make sure that you follow them, and that would earn you respect, confidence, possible promotion, and avoiding any legal issues. All right, guys, thanks for watching. That was just our brief overview of 5.2. I'll see you tomorrow for some more.